So this week I made some gorgeous developer art. I created a start screen and a character creation screen, introducing this idea of traits, which are sort of randomized stats at the start of your game, which look like this. This was also an opportunity to introduce the framework for the saving and loading system, because essentially when the game actually launches, you're not going to be able to reroll your stats. Instead, it's going to force you to play that character. Now, I can obviously see people having a problem with this because we like to create our own characters, but give me a chance to defend the idea first. If you play a popular roguelike game like The Binding of Isaac, every time you play the game, the experience is different. The reason for that is the character gets a random assortment of weapons each time that they play. They rarely get the choice except between a few different things to pick what they like, and each time they're kind of forced to get a different combination that plays out differently. Now, if you played The Binding of Isaac and it let you select the weapons that you get every single time, what would happen is each playthrough you would keep picking your favorites, and when you found something that worked, you would keep building on that and refining it and doing the same thing each playthrough until you'd done the game to death. This is a good way for people to be done with your game way too quickly, especially for a roguelike. Now, my game is not like The Binding of Isaac. It's really more like Dwarf Fortress. The star of the game is sort of the world. It's this breathing ecosystem that all makes sense together. Everything in it has a purpose, and nothing comes from nothing. So I can't simply limit the weapons that the character is exposed to change their gameplay, because they're going to be able to take any weapon that any mob is holding. They're going to be able to go to any store and buy a new weapon that they like. So in order to keep the game interesting, I'm forcing the players to play different gameplay based on their traits. Now, currently what you're seeing here in this very early stage is just stats being modified, but you can probably imagine how this could be expanded. Say, dumb characters can't learn magic, or hideous characters can't interact with certain shopkeepers, or are refused entry into certain areas. Small framed characters might take a penalty from wearing heavy armor, but they might be able to access certain secret areas that aren't accessible by regular characters without some kind of spell. After I get the procedural generation to a more finalized state, I'll also combine this with a random starting area. So you'll either start in a town or maybe at a campsite in the woods. You'll have slightly different circumstances to the beginning of your game, which will add a little more variety. And that's pretty much it for now. I've got a lot more coming down the pipeline, so make sure that you subscribe. And to the people that were asking about optimization last time, I'm going to make sure that I actually do a technical deep dive into optimization the next time I do it, as I'm going to try to push the number of NPCs much higher, and I'll try to document that process as well as possible, since I'll be going way above and beyond what was necessary in those easy wins that I did last time. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.